Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm not at Brown today. I'm actually at Harvard with
Elliot.
Here with Elliot Choy. I'm sure a lot of you know who he is, but do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Elliot. I'm Elliot. I'm a sophomore at Vanderbilt University. I'm studying business, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Today we're going to be talking about lessons that we learned in college. Hopefully you find some of these helpful.
One lesson that I learned in college is that it's really important to get outside of your comfort zone. Really, you can learn more about what's out there and expand your perspective.
I think a sort of general rule of thumb that I live by is that if I'm not experiencing discomfort, then that means I'm not growing enough as a person and I'm not challenging myself. Of course, there's definitely a difference between burnout and challenging yourself, but you should wake up every day being excited about something that you're going to do that day. Whether it's working on a project for a class that you love or going to an internship and doing research, whatever you do, be passionate about it and challenge yourself and do more than what is expected of you. Anything you want to add?
That was great.
Be you, be true.
I think in high school I made the excuse of saying that I didn't have enough time for things, and it's somewhat true with high school classes and clubs. Your time is somewhat restrained.
Yeah.
But in college, you really do have time to pursue what it is that you enjoy. Obviously, yeah, May's a pre-med, so like she has to spend a lot of time studying. I study business. I get more time outside of the classroom. Yes, that's true. That being said, I still think there's plenty of time to pursue what you're passionate about. May is obviously doing an amazing job balancing school with YouTube, and all that is pretty difficult, but you do have time. It takes dedication to learn how to manage your time appropriately.
It's definitely something that you should consider when you are choosing whatever concentration or major you are planning on doing in college, because there are concentrations that require a lot more dedication to your studies. For example, if you're doing like Atma Bio at Brown, that takes a lot more time than doing perhaps like an AB in business or econ. I think in high school there are a lot of expectations surrounding what you should be doing from either your parents, your friends, your teachers, but when you're in college you have to set expectations for yourself. So in college it becomes a lot more important to write out your own goals in concrete form, like actually write it out and stick to them, and not only write out an overarching goal but concrete steps in order to achieve them. Also, another form of expectations is expectations of others and your friends. Because you do have a lot of free time in college, you might expect others to be on the same schedule as you, when in reality everyone is running around doing their own thing. And if people are helping you with something, they're taking time out of their day to help you. What I'm trying to say is that don't hold too high of expectations for others. If people flake on you for dinner or something, it's nothing personal. It's more of that everyone has an extremely packed schedule and making time is definitely really difficult. It all goes back to time and priorities.
I think that's really true. Like you have to set high expectations for yourself and lower those expectations for other people. That doesn't mean like you should tolerate when your friends are being really mean to you. It's not like that.
The next sort of lesson that I wanted to share is that in the first few weeks of college you're really forced out of your comfort zone in order to make friends, and through that experience I think I've definitely grown a lot more in terms of being more open and friendly to people. If you constantly wait for other people to talk to you, you aren't maximizing your time in college, and you could really be meeting a lot of super cool people.
There's so much that goes on in college outside of the classroom that it really comes down to the people you meet, and I think that's one of the most important and one of the most amazing things about college. Also kind of related, but if you're a freshman, make sure you're trying to meet a lot of people in the beginning, like when you first get to campus. First week is crazy, like everyone's trying to meet each other. The second week is crazy. Honestly, the first semester, people are still sitting down with new people, trying to meet new people. But the second semester, people try to get settled, or maybe sophomore year. But again, that first semester or first few weeks in college are crucial. You really want to kind of like cast your net wide. Is that the right saying? Yeah, and you want to make sure you're trying to meet new people.
Sort of going off of that, I think freshman year is definitely an opportunity for you to explore, and I really didn't take that to heart as much as I should have. As you might have known, I took a CS class over the summer of my freshman year because I didn't really go outside of my comfort zone in terms of doing pre-med-y things. Like I sort of just took my requirements as well as what my intended concentration courses were, but I think freshman year is a really great opportunity to not only take classes that you have never thought of taking before, but also joining clubs and things that you might be interested in, or social clubs as a great way to make friends. I don't know, but
blessed with the light.
Sorry guys, it's getting a little dark out.
And loud and
police
cold.
are coming. I would definitely say take advantage of freshman year in terms of your social life. Don't only prioritize academics, because I think that's something we're very used to doing in high school. Freshman year is definitely an integral time for reaching out to people and not feeling too weird about it. In sophomore year, I found that among my friends, it's pretty difficult to meet new people in random situations.
This is not really specific to like your freshman year of college, but I think it's really important to learn from things you've experienced in the past. So for example, if you have any regrets from high school, then make sure that you're fulfilling them when you enter college. And this is true for any experiences that you've had in the past, maybe not necessarily just high school experiences, but in general, you should be trying to minimize regret. A personal example is like in high school, I did not really focus on my grades at all, and I regretted not trying my best like in the classroom. And in college, I feel like I've really turned that around, and I've kind of created a new perception of myself. I've like gained confidence in my ability to do things just because I made that decision to improve what I had previously done poorly.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, I feel like a lot of what I did in high school was out of continuity and just doing it because I was good at it, and it was a way for me to get into the door in terms of college admissions. Something that I really didn't want to continue doing is just like pursuing things because it's comfortable for me and because I'm already good at it. I definitely wanted to branch out into things I'm genuinely interested in, and it definitely takes a lot of time to really figure out what you want to do, because I know for me, I started off just joining a bunch of random clubs, and now that I'm a sophomore, I've narrowed down a lot. I feel like a lot of the things I'm doing now as a sophomore are connected by a common thread, whether it's education or mental health. They're things I genuinely care about and things that I look forward to on a daily basis. I'm wearing a crop top.
Yeah, are you not cold?
Dude, I'm from California. Like, don't keep doing things because you don't want to quit. Oh, quit things! A really hard lesson for me to learn as someone who's always been raised as someone who's like, don't ever quit, keep persisting and you will get good at it. I've learned that quitting is a really powerful choice that you have to make in college. The decision to quit definitely ties in a lot with priorities. College is insanely short. The fact that 2 years have already passed by is insane. Leveraging the choice to quit something in order to commit more time to something else or to join something you've always really wanted to do is a really, really
good thing. Yeah, in high school, I was like that kid who played violin all the time.
No!
Yeah,
Wait, you played violin?
Yeah, I was in orchestra. I was like, you know, I grew up playing violin. I was like, that's all I did in high school. I was completely orchestra. Like, if you look at my resume, it was all orchestra.
Dude, what the fuck?
And then I got into college and like I don't even play violin anymore, and it's like a decision I was comfortable making because my priority shifted and my interest shifted. And for example, like in high school I did a lot of photography, but now I've moved on to videography, which is not that different, but people's interests change, and I think that's completely fine. It's important to accept that.
And it's not to say that we regret the things that we did in high school.
Yeah.
It's just, I think a lot of the things I did do in high school, I did enjoy. Like, for example, playing violin and being a part of the orchestra. I think that in itself taught me a lot of skills that have applied to me today in terms of discipline and keeping goals in mind and actually achieving them.
Yeah. So actually in college, I think there are a lot of resources that are available that are extremely valuable, and they're like right in front of you, but a lot of times people don't take advantage of it. And I think it's important to understand that it's up to you to really go out and pursue those opportunities. No one's gonna hand it to you and be like, hey, this is what you should do, because in college you really do have to be independent. Like going to office hours, or I have a number of like facilities at Vanderbilt that I can take advantage of. You
never know what 5 minutes of talking to someone might end up doing for you. Like, oh, I have a story. So I'm currently taking a class in the public health school. My professor is actually working on an app. The first day of class, the dude who was sitting next to me mentioned that he was a graduate student at RISD and was interested in doing design that was related to my professor's interests. And my professor literally handed him a job in like the first 10 minutes of their conversation. So you never know what going out there and talking to someone might do for your life. The last message that we want to leave you with is when you go to college, be there with an open mindset and don't feel the need to commit to whatever you wanted to do when you're in high school, right when you get into college. In my Gen Chem class, which is the first sort of STEM requirement that pre-meds have to take at Brown, it was filled with probably over like 400 people, and now they've slowly been whittled away. And now that I'm in biochemistry, which is the 4th course in the sequence, there are probably maybe 200 faces that I saw on the first day of that Gen Chem class. So don't be afraid to go to college with an open mind.
Yeah, don't be worried about being behind, I think it's way better to explore your options while you're young and then commit to something that you're truly passionate about. There's so many people that they kind of just half-ass it, and they half-ass it, and then they're like, okay, yeah, I'll be complacent with this even though I'm not completely in love with it, and then 10 years later they're like, yeah, I'm gonna switch industries. And it's way harder to do it after you've spent 10 years building a career in a certain industry. And then to transition is way harder. It's okay to continue to explore. You're not behind by any means.
Yeah, especially for me, it was really scary to consider things that were not pre-med when I was first coming to college, because I literally wanted to be a doctor since the 2nd grade. But I have explored, and I feel a lot more confident in my decision now to pursue medical school. And it's better to have the realization now that you don't want to do something versus, as you said, like 10 years into the future.
And also, if you realize that you don't like something, you're one step closer to figuring out what it is that you actually enjoy.
Oh, that's so heartwarming. Okay, we'll end with that. Thank you, Elliot, for joining me. We also filmed a video on Elliot's channel about things that we wish we knew before college. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!